Are you ready to save money and cut your budget? Well, this is an important video on just that. This is kind of my own personal lifestyle. It is a lifestyle change on saving money, on becoming debt-free, and growing wealth slowly. To start off, on the VisionVictory channel, right now there's a video about how to get the best deal on an automobile, on a house, or a timeshare, even though I don't recommend buying those things. If you need to buy one or plan to buy one, check that video out. It's on VisionVictory right now, and on August 21st there will be an economic update on VisionVictory, so that'll be tomorrow, Friday. Alright, basically, first thing about budget, saving money, paying off debt, you have to have a budget. And I know a lot of people don't, but you need to sit down, take a minute, write down every single thing you spend money on. You know, if you don't know, print out a bank statement online or whatever and get all your transactions on your debit card and try to think of all your bills and all the checks you wrote and write it all down and see how much money you're spending. And hopefully, when you take the other side of that budget, which is the income side, hopefully the income at least meets that expense sheet, or at least comes close to it. Now, some things you can do to cut your budget is, first of all, if you have credit cards, you want to call those credit card companies up and ask them to lower your interest rate. And the first person may say, no, they can't do that. Just keep going up the line. You may have to speak to 3 or 4 people, but keep trying to talk to a supervisor. Let them know that the economy is in recession if they haven't seen or heard. And you need a lower interest rate to make ends meet. So have them lower your interest rate. If you're really behind and you're in trouble, you could also look at the option, and I just want to disclose I'm not a financial planner, look at the option of defaulting on that debt and settling it out within 3 to 6 months. So if I've talked to several people recently, actually, one of them had a great deal. He owed like $10,000 to Bank of America, and Bank of America settled it for $3,000. So he got a 70% reduction. Only had to pay 30% of the actual debt. So those are the type of deals out there. Now, of course, you have to be disciplined enough to save some money to settle these debts. Otherwise, you're just defaulting on them, which leads me to the next idea. And again, talk to an attorney, a financial planner, and your CPA. Is bankruptcy. And I know a lot of people are like, don't file bankruptcy. But look, it is a viable option for people who are drowning in debt. Now, before you start defaulting on all these things, you want to go see a bankruptcy attorney and see if you even qualify for bankruptcy in the future. If you did default, you can let them know that right now you're still current, but could you could you file bankruptcy? Now, actually, you know what? You might not even have to file. You might not even have to default to file bankruptcy. But check with a bankruptcy attorney. See if your income is too high. Paying down debt is important. If you can, you want to pay extra on your smallest card. Get that card paid off. If you own a vehicle, you definitely want to get your vehicle paid off. Because some of you out there, I can't believe it, but I've talked to people who have car payments that are $500, $600, $700. I can't even imagine. That's a really high car payment. You want to pay that down. You want to pay that down early and pay it off, or get rid of the car if you can and get a cheaper one. All right, here's this stuff, kind of just my notes that I wrote down. For those of you who are younger and are still dating, you want to marry well. Now, that's really important. I remember there's some awesome stats for this actually in the book called it's A Millionaire Next Door, and they did I think it was 20 years worth of research. They talked about how your average millionaire married well, had a wife who was frugal, had a wife who worked. And I talk to friends every day who are dating somebody, and they say, man, she's a big spender, she's drowning in credit card debt. It's not a wise move to marry into that. Next, just going back to my home, my wife and I were big on eating leftovers, and you got to eat at home. A lot of people eat out several times a week. At the most, try to keep it to once a week. Try to go as many as you eat at your house as many times as possible. If you miss those recipes from your favorite restaurants, there's books on Amazon.com with recipe books on your favorite restaurants. When you do go to a restaurant, if you're with your spouse or companion, split the meal. Find the meal that you guys can both agree on and split it. Restaurants always give you too much food anyway. I know a lot of you guys thinking, oh, it's not too much. Believe me, if you eat half, or like I tell my wife, I have to eat a little more than half because I'm taller, so I should eat more. You'll be fine. You'll be full, I promise you. Next one, lights. Big, electricity bills and stuff. It's common sense stuff. Keep the air conditioner a little higher. That you have it. You don't have to live in a freezer. And make sure those lights are turned off when you're not using them. I go into people's houses and all the lights are on. I don't understand it. Let's see. Daytime movies. Now I am an absolute movie guy. I love the movies. Although 2009 has been the worst movie year, I haven't seen one good movie. And in fact, all the movies that I look so forward to seeing, like Terminator Salvation or Public Enemies, were horrible. I walked out of Public Enemies. I should have walked out of Terminator Salvation. Drive good. I know that doesn't seem like economic advice or saving money, but look, if you drive well and aren't a road rager, you'll find your brakes will last a really long time. In fact, I've had tires that are supposed to go 50,000. They've gone 80,000 miles because I've serviced them properly. I've rotated them every 5,000 to 10,000 miles. I service all of my vehicles. I don't have any issues with my vehicles. Obviously, the air properly, if your air pressure is fine in your tires, you also get better gas mileage. And of course, if you're not braking and pushing on the pedal, you're not going to use a lot of fuel. Also, buy a good car if you haven't purchased your vehicle or about to purchase a vehicle. I'm not going to trash any dealers out there, but I'll just tell you straight out. I've heard a lot of people complain about cars, but I've never heard one person in my lifetime. I know I'll probably see it on the comments, but as of right now, I have never heard one person bitch about a Toyota, a Nissan, or a Honda. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, I have owned a Chevy Tahoe and a Ford Expedition. The Ford Expedition basically just blew up at 100,000 and like 104,000 miles. I mean, it was a disaster. The transmission, the heat, everything, just wheels were coming off on that thing. My Tahoe, my GM did a little better, but I'm very happy that I had a Toyota that went 264,000 miles with not one major problem ever. I actually ended up giving the vehicle to somebody who didn't have a car. I currently have an 06 Tacoma, no problems, runs great. I have a Nissan Altima that it's got over 135,000 miles, not one problem ever. And own your cars. That's important. A lot of people trade these cars all the time. Own your car. Once you pay it off, own it for years and years and years. Try to keep a vehicle for at least at the minimum 10 years. Now, my personal goal with my Tacoma is I'm going to keep it, as long as possible. And I'm talking about lifetime. I'll keep it, I'll let my son drive it. The Nissan Altima I'll probably keep for 10 years, so I'll probably keep it till 2013 or 2014. The reason I'm hoping to buy another car in 2013, I'm hoping that gas mileage will be in the hundreds of miles by then. We'll see what happens. For those of you guys who go to the movies, stop paying, or rent movies, stop paying late fees. Stop wasting gas going to the movies, and stop paying $4 to rent each movie. Go check out Netflix. It's a great deal for those of you who watch a few movies, several movies a month. And this one, my wife doesn't like to hear it, but garage sale. That's kind of not really saving money. That's more just kind of making a little cash, bringing a little extra money in the budget, maybe to pay down that debt. I got tired one year. My wife hauls around this stuff from move to move. It goes into one box and never leaves the box. So I sold all kinds of stuff, and I even sold stuff in the house that we didn't need. And it took her a few weeks to notice. When she did notice, she was mad, but it was already done. So it wasn't that big of a deal, and it wasn't like Grandma gave us this chair or something. I just sold stuff I was tired of looking at it. It didn't do anything, and certainly when I moved, I was really pissed because I didn't want to move this thing ever again, so I sold it. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, as far another idea too, you guys, if you can look into making more money as well, you want to think residually. When you buy stocks, you want to think of dividend income, and this is not going to make you a lot of money in the short term, but maybe in the long term it will. Actually, it will. If you're going to open a business, or you have a business idea, or maybe you don't have a business idea, look at partnering up with somebody, and let's take somebody. Might be able to do a referral fee with them. Partner up with somebody who has an existing business that you don't have to pay overhead or have any responsibility, essentially. Let's say, a loan officer or a realtor, ask them, hey, if I help you get some referrals, or insurance guy or whatever, how can I make a small, commission from it? And, it might not be much, but hey, $50, $100 a month, that'll pay your cell phone bill, that'll help you pay out debt, save more. Also owning some type of business, even if it's a gumball machine inside your house, gives you a tax deduction. So you want to use those business tax deductions. Those are made to help basically the rich, but you can also tap into those as well. Now, you also need to save automatically. For those of you who don't save, or maybe you do save, but it's kind of a casual saver. You plan on saving, 10% or whatever, but sometimes, you save 2% in 1 month, sometimes you save 10%. Save automatically, take it away from yourself, put it in an account that's far away, that's not accessible. To find a bank out of state and make that bank your savings account. Or buy silver. That's what I do. I currently save in silver. Pretty much most of my conservative stuff is in silver. Do it automatically. Have it go straight to a mutual fund or straight to TD Ameritrade and buy Hong Kong dollars or something. Just whatever you do, get it away from you and buy it automatically. And you got to learn to live without it. It's amazing. I look at my budget regularly, and my wife and I have learned since we've been married to live without 35% of our income. We literally save 35% of our income. Now, when I was even younger, I used to save, probably 60 or 70% because I was just savings whore. I was just saving everything. Wasn't spending any money. But now, I'm married. I have a little more stuff, and I like to vacation and stuff with my wife. So we save less, but still, we've learned to live without it. And that's important. So, especially for you guys who have those Roth 401k or Roth IRA plans, and it's maybe the Roth 401k set up through your work, or Roth 403b, or whatever it is, or 457. Learn to live without that, and you watch it grow. You watch your nest egg grow, and you want to build wealth. And saving currency, fiat dollars or fiat. Anything really isn't, really storing your hard-earned labor into something that stores wealth. Now, I'm not going to lie. I hold a little cash. Like I said, I have some Hong Kong dollars and different currencies. But the bulk of it is actually me taking, I don't work just to throw my money away. I work, and I like to store my wealth into something real, tangible. And right now, I think gold and silver are your best places to store wealth in the current economic times we're in. I don't know if everybody can make money with this thing, but Google AdSense. I'm a YouTube partner. I've told you guys before. People click on these ads next to my face, and I think I make 10 cents a click or something. But I didn't really think of it as a business, but I guess it's going to start to become a business because I actually made over $1,000 this month, so I'm going to have to, I guess, start to look at it differently. But I don't know. Google AdSense seems pretty easy. If you got an idea, you want to do a blog or video or whatever, I think it's pretty easy to apply. You just tell them you want AdSense ads, and they'll throw them up on your webpage. So there's all kinds of different ways to increase your budget, and people always think of they think that if it's not big enough, it's not worth it. Even if it makes you $50, $100 a month, recycling cans, makes you $10, $15 a month. Every little bit counts, and that's important. I pick up every single penny I walk by, and a lot of people walk by them or don't pick them up, or I've seen people just basically trash them. But I feel very blessed to have what I have, to be healthy, to have a wife that I love and she loves me. And I feel like the day I turn around and ignore a penny, I just don't want to let, and this is me speaking personally, I don't want to let God know that I don't care about a penny because I'm too good for it. No, I pick every penny up. And in fact, I say thank you, Lord, because the penny says, in God we trust. And I just say, I do trust you. So, a lot of people might make fun of me, but hey, you know what? I'm frugal, I'm cheap, and every penny counts. God bless.